everyone, it's Cathy from CathyZielske.com, welcoming you to another installment of Cathy Makes a Card. I am a brand new card maker who is learning about all the things that go into making beautiful, but also simple cards. For today's card, I will be stamping and coloring. I'll be using distress inks to create backgrounds, and I'll be using die cuts to make panels and borders to create the final card. Let's get started. I'm starting today with some stamping. I've got some Neenah Solar White cardstock, and I am using a Lawn Fawn stamp set called Out of This World. This set, as you can see, some of those stamps are already pretty dark. This is the first stamp set that I bought, and I just think, let's be legit. It's adorable. So I'm going to start out with stamping some images because I'm going to color with Copic markers. Another thing that I am not an expert at this time, but boy, I sure have fun doing it. I'm going to get everything lined up, and I'm stamping here using my Misty tool. And this tool, let's just be honest, this is what's making stamping possible for me. The fact that you can press it down and pick it up and go back and stamp it down and it all is even, I think even impressions was one of the things that kept me from trying stamping because I knew I was terrible at it. But here with the Misty, you put your stamps on the clear part, you press down, and guess what? If you don't get a good enough impression the first time, as I did not here, you just ink it up and do it again. I think it's a brilliant tool, and I know for a fact it is one of the things that has made me fall in love with card making. So one of the things I like to do when I am stamping images to color is I like to make extras because I make mistakes. So I flipped the card and stamped another set on the card, and now I'm going to set that aside, let it dry, and move on. Now it's time to make my panels. Now I've got two pieces of the Neenah Solar White taped down onto the craft mat, and I'm using just two colors of distress ink. I'm using Spiced Marmalade and I'm using Picked Raspberry. Now, I've got my little mini blending tool here. I'm just going to say it. As it stands today, I kind of suck at blending. I think you're going to see this is not the magical, you know how when you see the experts and it's all magical and smooth? No, mine looks like a hot mess. But the thing is, with these inks, that's okay. I can make two panels, make them equally hot mess, but I know that they're going to look good with what I'm doing. So this isn't necessarily the smoothest. I'm trying to create a pink and orange outer space scene, and I think it's working just fine. But once I get them done, I'm going to shoot it with a mist, and then I'm going to pull it halfway back, half cocked, to get the bigger water droplets. And then I'm just going to blot it off with a paper towel and let the distress ink do its magic. And there is the magic. I love this whole unpredictable reaction. I never know what it's going to look like, but there you go. Two panels, and I'm going to set those aside and just let them dry on their own. Now it's time to color. Now, I have enough Copics to be dangerous. I love warm grays so far, and I've been using them on pretty much everything I've done in this new card making world that I am living in. But I'm not an expert. I don't always have the proper blending groups. I don't have the full complement of every color you're going to need. But I have enough to get the job done so far. I'm sure that I will get more savvy with my coloring, but for now, I'm just having fun stamping little cute images and coloring them. This was something that I did not even know existed. I didn't know people did this. So when I found out, wait, that's how they do it? Whole new world. So my Copic skills, they're going to get better, but I think right now this looks pretty cute. In fact, the Saturn, I actually did the best job on, but I ended up not using it. Either way, I did it well on the first time. I thought I'm not going to color the second set. I'm going to die cut these. Now, I do have a magnetic platform, but I have been finding more success with just taping it down. And it turned out that I actually nailed it. There they are. Now, I've cut out two panels of that dried finished distress background. because this is what I'm going to use to build the scene. I'm using a puffy cloud border from Lawn Fawn that's also stitched to match the stitching of the panels. And I'm going to cut two pieces. The first piece is going to come off, and I'm going to be very careful here because I had this blue tape. If I don't put my fingers all over it, it gets a little sticky sometimes, so I'm a little cautious here. But I've got one panel that's going to be behind the panel that I do the sentiment. So all I'm going to do is just flip that and kind of line it up and figure out the spacing. Now, when you're doing something like this, I'm sure that I could have measured it perfectly and had the perfect offset cloud. I literally just stuck it down where I thought it was going to work and cut it out. And you know what? The end result, it still looks like hot pink and orange space clouds. So we're good. And once I got it all cut out, this is a tip that someone gave me to line things up to when you're adhering them, use your MISTI. What? Right? You have this hard edge because it takes me forever to line things up, but not with the MISTI. Just stick it in, press it up against one of the sides and the bottom, and yeah, magic. I'm telling you, MISTI. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment from Out of This World. And I am going to, in fact, use the one that says Out of This World. And again, the MISTI allows me to nail the landing, so to speak, right? There we go. Adding the little extra bit here, it says you are out of this world. And the only thing I would have done differently here, I'm still not completely confident with my placement. I would have placed it down just a little. I'm talking 1/8 of an inch. Yeah. But now going back to assembly, again, gluing stuff down with the MISTI. I left a little adhesive though off the center of the top because I'm gonna tuck my little guy in. Now to make a card base. I've got this giant, awesome scoring tool from Stampin' Up. And I can't believe I ever used to try to score without a tool. That's all I'm saying. Now I've got some adhesive. I am a huge fan of the Kokio dot liner. And again, I am taking my card base and I've made a big panel, a big stitched white panel, and laying it in there. And look at that. Again, a great tip that someone gave me. And it works. Now it's time for the foam tape. Of course, I have the biggest roll on the planet. And I'm going to go ahead and pop that panel up using foam tape. And you don't need to see the whole process, right? I mean, there's nothing sexier than watching someone put foam tape on. Almost as sexy watching someone struggle to peel it off the back. So I'm going to get it. Come on, do it. Yep. Okay, we got it. Now I'm going to adhere my panel to the card base and the stitched panel. I'll look at it. Is it there? Are we good? Yeah, it's good enough. Press that down, and now it's time to add the other cute elements. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I did a version of this card earlier, and so I knew how the panel was going to come together. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to use Saturn. In fact, Saturn's got to go. He's not going to make it. I just think the space was too small. I'm sure a more astute and talented card maker would have put Saturn in a place that was the most magical place of all. That is not me as a card maker yet. So I'm just adding some foam adhesive to pop up the rocket. Look how cute. They're just so cute. Yeah, Saturn, you got to go. Do you got to go? Yeah, you got to go. And the little astronaut is just going to be tucked in between the clouds. I thought about popping him up or maybe having his little foot stick out. And then I thought, you know what? It's good. He's cute like that, or she's cute like that. It's really hard to say. Once I decided to adhere it down, I used glossy accents for the helmet. But here's the problem. I ruined my tip. So you are seeing, do not attempt glossy accents without a little more control. Actually, it turned out pretty well, but I bought this little precision tip and I've already managed to break it and ruin it. So that's my last little touch though for the card, was to make her helmet shiny. Love it. I wanted to show you the card I did originally and just show you how different the two look. This shows you I can't recreate the exact same thing with Distress inks, but they both have a totally different look. And check out the envelope. What? Again, This stuff, people, adorable. And some might say, out of this world. Yes, I'm crafty and clever. Thank you so much for watching today. Please subscribe to my channel and check out more videos in the center. To see more from me, visit my website today. Thanks everyone, and have a great day.